We really are returning to like an era of aristocratic mysticism where we know that the people who rule over us are all inbred lunatics and we just have to deal with the consequences of their decisions. For a brief period of time, we entertained the delusion of meritocracy where we thought like, oh, the reason why this guy's really popular and like wealthy and stuff is because he's talented. And in reality, no, that's not how it works at all. So in actuality, they're all psychotic. You know, I mean, even if you go back to somebody who did have some level of talent, as much as he stole from others, Steve Jobs, he was also a fucking wacko. You know, he didn't want proper medical treatment when he had his pancreatic cancer. We were hearing about that, like, big fan of potions and herbal remedies with the king, you know, should he get sick. Radical inclusiveness is a Burning Man thing. Well, all of these tech CEOs have been to Burning Man. That's what makes them the way they are. They're deeply conservative, reactionary people. In many ways, ideologically, they're quite fascist, but they've deluded themselves into believing that they're progressive because they've done DMT and, like, fucked some hippies bareback at Burning Man, you know? And that's the esotericism. So you have all of the innate conservatism of like massive wealth and corporate power, and then you have it kind of like juxtaposed against that weird, almost like new age hippie bullshit. And that's what makes Silicon Valley the way it is. Like, that's what makes tech guys the way they are. Is Zuck seemingly the most normal? Yes, in a lot of ways, yes, because Zuckerberg actually was a computer nerd going into all of this. That's the difference. A lot of the people who get into this tech CEO bullshit now are like weirdo, like venture capitalist guys or like hype men, you know? Like, they get in on this in this weird, at like past the point where you're getting like really into the nitty gritty of tech. So Zuckerberg, by virtue of actually being somewhat invested in the tech side of things, at least I don't know how much he is now, but he used to be, might have grounded him. Being a nerd might have grounded him. Being a real tech guy and not some like cult leader, you know? That's the difference between Bill Gates and a lot of these other guys too. Bill Gates, one of the wealthiest people on earth and a huge piece of shit, by the way, in a lot of ways. But Bill Gates was a fucking nerd. That was the grounding element there. It kept him a little less unhinged. The other founder of Apple was all right. Yeah, Steve Wozniak, right? Steve Wozniak was heavily grounded because he was a massive fucking nerd. Yeah. This chart works in a bunch of different... Peter Thiel is like the fucking kingmaker of weird, esoteric, fascist, libertarian, like tech Silicon Valley bullshit. And you look at him and he is like fully in on the esotericism, right? Fully in on the like weird new world order tech hype side of everything, right? Not on the nerd side. What I'm saying basically is that when you meet a guy who's in tech in any way, shape, or form, there are two kinds of guys. There are nerds and there are hype guys. And the hype guys are the most demonic individuals you will ever meet. And the nerds are varying, but almost always better. And that's what I'm saying, basically. Which one is Jack? Jack is a fucking lunatic. The only reason Jack didn't run Twitter more incompetently is because he was too busy, I don't know, trimming his toenails, going to Burning Man, and like, what did Jack even do? After Elon took over, Jack like defended him. He's not better than Elon, really. He's just not so insecure that he keeps trying to court the far right, you know? Jack fucking sucks, though. Yeah, there are only two tech genders. It's true. It's true. You're forgetting project managers. Project managers are by default evil. Yeah, Mark Cuban, a lot more grounded. Yeah, I actually think this works really well. In the tech industry, this is actually a very, very, very useful distinction. The obvious one here would be Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is the perfect example because he's all in on the hype side. Dude's not sitting in his office coding. His entire job is being like the loud, wacky science man who pumps up Twitter's share price, you know? Elon isn't a nerd, you know? He's been in on the VC side of things from the very beginning. I wasn't super skeptical of Musk back in like the earlier days, Sather. I never really liked him just because by default, I tend not to like people who are into the tech hypey kind of stuff. I'm suspicious of them, but I thought he was a smart guy up until like more attention was paid to him. Yeah, I was in on it. He wrote some code in the early days, and apparently it all had to be rewritten. Yeah, well, Elon Musk famously was the programmer behind Yandere Simulator. And you know, people have tried to fix it, but he's really insistent on keeping a hold on that project. I'd believe it. Oh, I would fully believe it. That's totally in line. You know, that's very him.